Welcome back to the STG ice sheet, you beautiful people. Now, once more I have a plan. All my plans seem to happen at the start of the episodes, and then I quickly forget about them. But what we are going to do is we're going to take a granite wall, we're going to take it from here, and we're going to extend it up to here. Plan with that means if anything comes into this section of the map, they are then going to be forced around into the kill zone along here. Once that wall is done, because we do have a deep drill digging up some granite chunks, which we can then transport down to here and then process them into granite blocks. We're then going to extend this wall up, and then we're going to come across this way once again, which should deter most of the sappers. Also gives us access to a nice big section of the map. Then moving on from there, I think what we might do is we put some turrets in along here, so as things get forced around the corner, then the turrets can start shooting at them. They'll be embrasures, so they won't be able to get through at all anyways. And then they get forced round, back through this section, and then everything will pretty much always end up in the killing zone. That is the plan. Whether or not that happens is a very different cup of tea. But right now we might as well try these things out. As for the puppies that we started loading up in the last episode, we are just waiting on one. Well, no, we're waiting on 2 more, maybe even 3 more. But Labrador Puppy 4 and Labrador Puppy 5 are in the drop pod, which means we're going to be able to send them off nice and soon towards the security force. As for the security force, they are still hostile at us with a -25, which actually isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be a lot worse, and that is their faction capital. Probably the only reason they haven't come in and spanked us is because we are a decent ways away. So will the drop pods make it? Well, I kind of hope so. And then we also need to pick up 5 more gold so that we can make our Archotech bench. With that, we're going to be able to break down all of these Geth corpses, any more Mechanoid corpses, and I do believe any Reaper corpses that come in, which is going to be super useful. That means a whole bunch of Architect components, well, fragments, and those we can turn into Archotech limbs. And Paddock's already a bit of a beast, Gnu's a bit of a beast, and we need to get Gnu a new helmet as well. So we need to keep an eye out for one of those. But all in all, we are looking like we are in a very, very good situation. We have cranked up the threat scaling, so bigger, better, more dangerous raids are going to come in. So we are actually going to be properly tested sometime soon. This area is coming on quite quickly. We just need a couple more dogs. So I saw a Labrador and I was like, we need a couple more dogs. No, we need less dogs. We need a couple more doors put in. So the way these doors work is they breach through the first one, they're going to get a face full of lead. Then they're going to have to try to hit through this door whilst getting shot up by the military turret. Then once they get through there, they're going to be sprayed up by this turret, even once they get through there. Then once they get through there, there's another military turret. And that is going to be shooting them like crazy as well. And if they get through all of that, then we got another turret there and another 2 there. When it comes to sapping in Combat Extended, it is mainly the tribals that do it. And military turrets are going to be more than enough to shred. I mean, between those 3, 4, 5, 6, they probably could take out 80 tribals, I reckon. It is a crazy amount. Because of Combat Extended, if you are not wearing armor, you are dead. It is as simple as that. And then we want to reinforce down here, across there. A lot of reinforcing and a lot of making this base bigger, better and more dangerous. Ooh, it is going to be a lot of fun when the next big raids come in. So this is 1x speed, and as you can see, Paddock is able to dig up these granite chunks super quickly. If we just put the speed up a little bit quicker, yeah, we are going to be super good. So one of these reinforced walls costs 15 granite. Breaking down a chunk gives you 20 granite. So I make it every 4 blocks we get, would get 5 walls. Every 3 blocks, I think it's every 3. Yeah, don't do math hammer whilst trying to talk and play a computer game at the same time. It doesn't work. But yeah, we just need to get a lot of these out. And once these come out, then we're just going to be able to haul them over here. Once they're hauled over, we can start breaking them down. And then we can get a bunch of walls going. We got heavy embrasures going in here for the autocannons. This area, for some reason, is on light embrasures and heavy reinforced walls on the side. And we've got to change those power lines. They are definitely in the wrong place. So we'll drop those down into there, and then we'll just deconstruct these ones for the moment. And actually, whilst we're on the subject of construction, let's go put those in. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a lot more but smaller hardpoints, I think. Like, these worked, and they worked really well, in fact. But because the centipedes, they have a chance to shoot and then they can shoot through. You know, having a big one doesn't help, because one of those Inferno Pedes, if they shoot, lands into this area, everything's dead. But if we make them smaller, the chances of a direct hit are a lot less. And then if we have it so... Let's have a look. So over here, we got the walls on the side, but I've only got the gun ports on the front. So say if the shell lands here and explodes, the turrets are fine. If we have them all the way round, then they get wiped out. Unfortunately for these autocannons, where they are here, they need to have embrasures all of the way round so they can still shoot. But say a missile comes into this section, that will get wiped out, so this one, but this one would be okay. Same if this one gets hit like there, these ones should be alright. And that's kind of the thinking and the plan. Same as if a missile lands into this section right there, that turret should be fine. Now, is it foolproof? No. Are things going to go wrong? Yes. Are we looking forward to it? Yes. So, I say let's just get on and do it. Dogs are all loaded up. And yeah, the security forces are too far away to trade with, unfortunately. Right, we need to find a different way to do it. I think maybe we just get Paddock or GNU, because they're both quite quick, and then just run them straight across with the doggos. That is quite a journey to try and make peace with them. I think if we carry on expanding and developing the way that we are, in about 2 more episodes, if Security Force does show up, I would like to think that we should be okay. He says, we'll probably get wiped out, but, you know, that's a part of the fun. So looking at our rec room does okay, but we do need recreation variation. So we have this nice big space over here. Why don't we, even though this is going to delay everything else, but details, expand the walls to there, make sure we don't take that one out, we put a steel door in, and then we're just going to hollow this section out, take everything from here, put it in, then we're also going to be able to put TVs, computers, darts boards, punching bags, all of the fun stuff that Solarians like, into that section, and they're going to get a way bigger mood buff from it. Then we just take the doors, put them onto this side, and then move the rooms so they're like flipped 180, and then everyone should have access to that. Or the other side, we could, yeah, I think this works better. We're going to turn this into one massive rec room and then take the storeroom and put it into here. Because this is nice and central, which means more people will be able to have like access to the tables whenever they need them. And then the storeroom will go up there, then we'll have another door going in. We will sort out the heaters, because obviously in here it's going to have to be frozen. And we do have the access to the outside there. So, we go in, wall across there, put some vents in with the wall there, then heaters go into that area, which will then automatically get chilled back down to basically outdoors. So yeah, this area won't overheat, this area will stay cold, and we'll have a nice big rec room. I am liking the sounds of that. That, I think, is going to work out pretty sweet. As for food, still got like a lot of insect meat. And then we're also getting ahead on the rise. We're starting to stockpile a decent amount of promethium, even though we have to use it for other ammunition types. This area is nice and cold, so the dogs are just eating the corpses in there. This has now been sorted. We found the area where there is actually granite. So despite this being granite flooring, it was kicking up marble chunks. So here we go. That's looking good. And this wall still hasn't been touched. Not a big issue. We are moving along quite rapidly and nicely. We'll get Paddock down to here. And I think soon... How are we looking on monies? Not great, but we should have some things to sell. Which means when the bulk good trader comes in, we sell off a bunch of stuff. With those things being sold off, we should be able to call a slave ship and hopefully get another Solarian. Okay, this is interesting. So we got the puppies. Obviously, we got way too many doggos now, so we're going to move them across. So we went to send the drop pod over, and it says, give us combat supplies to site 26, plus 33. Give us gift, plus 1. So let's go plus 33 and see if that will actually mean that is plus 33 relationship. Because if it is, that's actually pretty tidy. Didn't actually see what happened there, but I imagine it was plus 33 because we're now at plus 63 with them. Okay, actually, let's go into messages. We got a trader come in, but that is about it. It's not really saying what's happening to them. Oh well. Wall is finished across here. So if sappers do want to come into the base through this section and they spawn here, they'd have to go through that wall, into another wall, through a bunch of other walls, through turrets. And that really should discourage the AI. Now we've also got a whole bunch of compact steel over here, which is quite nice for us. The walls have been upgraded where the walls have needed to be upgraded, which means that we can now start moving on to stage 2, which is reinforcing this section. That's still there, so let's go just over the top to this bit. We'll use the wall to save resources. Carry on this line, so at least it's going to look somewhat pretty. And if you're watching my channel to see pretty bases, you are mistaken. I cannot make a pretty base to save my life. But that area there will now be walled off. This will be walled off. Kill zone is pretty beast. Yeah, I reckon a couple more episodes and we are going to be super good. And then we'll crank it up to 500% threat scaling until we inevitably get wiped out, because dying is fun. And a feast has happened, which I think is more than fair with all of the banging work that these Solarians are doing. And these walls are going up crazy quick. So we've nearly got this one done. Well, it's about 50% done. This one's done. All the steel has been mined across there. All of the turrets are now put in, which we are not even mad about. Do need to be careful of this one. This is full of bugs. And I am not too sure what happens when it's up against a wall like this. Do they clip over? Or do they all spawn on this side? Which I think is something that we should find out in this episode. Now, with the feast, they're all going to get a nice big mood buff from that, which is good. Everyone's in pretty decent moods anyway, but that is kind of because of it. And yeah, Gilor has no pet peeves at the moment. So Gilor's pretty much 100% happy. Okay, Opoid is a little bit upset that he's not some doggy's master. Terra ate without a table. GNU is pretty chill. And if we go the right way, Paddock doesn't like it because he's in darkness. And for some reason he's not attending the feast. But yeah, let's not worry too much about that. We also need a research project. But what we do need to hold off on is we want the architect research assistant to get the new levels of tech. But we also want this bench done first. Once this bench is done, we're going to have all the architect components that we need, or fragments, to build that without actually having to worry about resources, which will be pretty sweet. Just realised Gilor has a shield belt, so we're going to drop that off and we're going to give him the shotgun, well, the UAC shotgun. Now, it's not as good as the other one, even though it does have a nicer skin on it. So the one that Terra's using has a higher rate of fire. But this one, still by itself, is not a bad bit of kit. Against tribals and low-end pirates, it is devastating. Come up against centipedes, ciphers, yeah, it's not going to do too much. It can kind of fight against bugs, not very well. Not against the big ones, but against the small ones, it is alright. So, now he does have a weapon, so if he gets caught out in the open, hopefully he can defend himself. And just out of basic curiosity, let's pick up a artillery piece and a missile launcher. I've used the artillery pieces before. They're pretty awesome. They just never hit anything, so they're a massive waste of ammo. Missile turrets, could be good fun. We're also going to need synthetic organs and neuroscience. They're going to help quite a lot as well. Then moving on from there, what we do want is the Nutrimane synthesis so we can start producing our own medicine. And that should tie us over for a decent while. And let's go build the dropship. I quite like that. That means we're going to be able to go around and do a whole bunch of trading. And human sleeves, that could be quite interesting as well. So Gnu's already finished up the old artillery, so let's have a little look-see on this. Okay, manned artillery that launches all kinds of shells capable of inflicting devastating damage to both enemy forces and structures. This military machinery excels at laying down fire support for soldiers in the field, capable of targeting other areas on the world within medium range. Cool. That might be something quite interesting for us to play with. We did call in a slave ship and they have a Solarian Orelon. I think that's probably how you say it. I could be wrong, I most likely am. Officer Solarian, 20 years old, so halfway through his life. 14 in shooting with a double burn in passion. A passion in melee with a skill of 7. Passion in cooking with a skill of 4. Double burning passion in animals, which is good. And he also has a passion for crafting, which is going to be super good. And he's fairly smart and he's social. Quick sleeper, mix up with Solarian traits, that's actually insane. Transhumanist, so we can keep him heavy quite quick. And he is a misogynist, really dislikes and distrusts women. At the moment, not a massive problem because I don't think we actually have any women Solarians. I haven't seen one in this playthrough yet, which is a little bit odd. But what we'll do is we will pick him up, get him geared up, and then get him straight onto the old crafting. And a Solarian of good taste, it would appear, went straight for all of the UAC kit. We sometimes see them come in and they won't pick up the skin suits, but this one did. So that skin suit is going to give him an extra 100% global work speed, which is good, +1 into his moving. His armor set is -15 to aiming time, -50% to toxic sensitivity, +1.25 to moving, melee dodge chance, +50% bulk capacity, 20% carry weight, +80, which is quite good. And then the helmet he's rocking, +1 to weapon handling, global learning factor, +10%, toxic sensitivity, -100%, mental break, -1%, and smoke sensitivity, -100%. Now, smoke sensitivity in combat extended is super important, because if, say, you had a fire in your kitchen and everything's burning, and then you ran your guys in to try to put the fire out, they would inhale smoke. And smoke wipes people out super quick in combat extended, so you've got to be careful of that. Now, let's get him set up. So we want him smithing on 1, tailoring on 1, and crafting on 1. They are his main objectives. And then we might as well give him a shooting skill trainer, seeing as he does have double burning passion, so he's going to level up super quick. We'll be able to install some Archotech arms into him so he can craft things quicker. Going into the other guys isn't really needed, and then we'll drop the skill trainer in crafting. So if you can use these for me, mate, that would be amazing. And let's go set him up a room. So what we're going to do is blueprint. Is it room 1? Yes, it is. And drop that in there. Fantastic. So using that skill trainer, he went from level 3 to level 10 in one go. And then his shooting has gone from 14 to 17. Now we don't have a gun for him, so that is not super useful, but still not bad. And seeing as we've got these turrets here that aren't actually going to be doing anything, let's figure out if there's going to be a good place for them. I think, yeah, we are just going to chuck them. I think we can put them onto this corner here. I think that's going to be a good place. So you come out by 1, you stay against the wall, and then all we need to do is then just reinstall all of these over here. And I think that there should be okay. Should discourage sappers. Will it really? Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't matter. We'll find out. And then what we also need to do, which is going to be quite important, is getting the fabrication room up and going. So, fabrication bench. Yes, please. Let's get 2 of those in. UAC fabrication bench, which is a little bit on the smaller side. Let's get 2 of you in. And then we're also going to need a bionics workbench. Let's get 1 of those in, and then a advanced bionic bench. Cool. And seeing as we have just moved everything around, is it worth reinforcing these walls? No, I don't think it is. So we are just going to stick with normal granite. All of that's being moved across. And yeah, soon we're going to have a production room. Tidy. And I think with all that progress, that is a good place to call the episode. So thank you very much for watching the STG iSheet. I've been Conti. All your likes, comments, sub support have been amazing. You know what you do for the algorithm. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.